last lecture we have talked about uh, different properties of probability. In this lecture, I will start with some remarks, and these remarks are basically nothing but talks about the how I can assign probability to different values or different uh, events in the sigma algebra. So we're going to talk about three cases that is sample space is finite, sample space is countable infinite, and sample space is uncountable infinite. And we know that these three possibilities are there, that sample space could be finite, sample space could be countable infinite, sample space could be uncountable. So let us talk about this thing one by one. But before that, just notice this definition that a singleton event is called an elementary event. So whenever I have a singleton event, it will be called as an elementary event. So let us talk about first the sample space is finite. And in all the cases I am going to take the sigma algebra is nothing but power set of sample space. So the first case when sample space is finite, it is sufficient to assign probability to each elementary event. What does this mean? This means that okay, if I have S is finite and F is power set of S, then let P be a function defined on the set of all elementary events. Okay, so P be a function defined on the set of all elementary events, and note that the set of all elementary events is basically a subset of sigma algebra F, which is the power set of S. So now the point is that this function P can be extended to F. This function P can be extended to F. Only thing I need a condition on P, which is nothing but such that if I take the sum over all elementary events of P omega belongs to S, that has to be 1. Okay, so basically nothing but if you see that if I take the union of all omegas such that omega belongs to S, that is nothing but the set S. So to satisfy the second condition of the probability, it has to have the second axiom of the probability, that is probability S equals to 1. It has to have that summation of omega belongs to S has to be equals to 1. So how can I extend it to the all set in the sigma field? The extension is very simple. Let E be an event, E belongs to F. So in this case, you see that I can write to note that E also is a finite set because S is a finite set and E is a subset of S. So E is also a finite set. Note that E is finite and E can be written as union of omega belongs to E. So as E is a finite set, so that's why this union is also a finite union. So I can write, it can be written in this way, where omega 1 intersection omega 2 is equals to phi for omega 1 not is equals to omega 2, and omega 1 belongs to E, omega 2 belongs to E. So the probability, so if P has to be a probability, so I extend the function such that P has to be a probability, I should have that P of E is same as summation P of omega such that omega belongs to E. So the idea is very simple that, well, if I know the probability of each elementary event in S, what I have to do, if I try to find out the probability of E, I have to sum up the probability of each elementary event in E, and that will give me the probability. Okay, so that basically means that if I assign the probability to each elementary event in the sigma field, then I can extend this probability to over the whole sigma field, such that for this finite sample space. Okay, fine. So next point is that, well, then there is another point. Now suppose that P of omega is equals to constant for all omega belongs to S. What will happen? What will be the value of C? It is easy to see that as P of S, which is equals to summation P of omega, which is equals to 1 for omega belongs to S, which implies that n times C equals to 1 equals to implies that C equals to 1 by n, where n is equals to number of element in S. So my S is finite, so number of element is S is a well-defined finite number. Now if I can write that P of S equals to 1, which basically implies that C of C into n equals to 1, so C equals to 1 by n. So when the P of omega is constant for S finite, the value of C has to be 1 by number of element in S. Now what does this mean? This means that if I try to find out the probability of E, which is nothing but summation probability of omega, such that omega belongs to E, which turns out to be 1 by n into number of element in E, which is hash E divided by hash S. So what does this mean? This means that if I assume that all the elementary events same probability, which is called equally likely, so if I assume that my sample space is finite and all the elementary events are equally likely, we go back to the classical definition of the probability. This is the classical definition of the probability. Okay, so this is the classical definition of probability, and you see that in this case, so what does this mean? This means that the definition we have talked about, the axiomatic definition we have talked about, that is a generalization of the classical definition, in the sense that classical definition is a particular case of the general definition. Okay, so next thing we are going to talk about when S is countably infinite. Note that in this case also, it is sufficient to assign the probability to each elementary event. Why this is so? Again, the reason is nothing but same way that if let P be so in this case, what I have is that S is countably infinite. infinite, and sigma algebra is the power set of S. Now in this case you see that again if I let P be a function, defined on the class of all elementary events, such that P summation P of omega is equals to 1 for omega belongs to S. Again, I will proceed in the same way. Now, if E belongs to F, note that E is a subset of S, so E is at most countable. That means basically I can write E belongs to S, then E can be written as union of omegas. Omega belongs to S, and this union is a countable, at most countable union. The union is at most countable, union. So that basically means that I will be able to write P of E in the same way before. P of E can be written as summation P of omega belongs to E. So in case of the finite as well as in case of the countable infinite, that means when S is at most countable, if I assign the probabilities to each elementary event such that sum of the probability of all the elementary events is 1, then that will define a probability on the sigma field, which is the power set of S. Okay? But clearly in this case I cannot assign equal probability to each set. Clearly I cannot assign equal probability to each elementary event. Why? Reason is very clear, because if I take if possible, by contradiction we will be able to prove that if possible if I can assign this one, if possible, if I can assign this one, that will, if I we can prove it by contradiction, that we can prove it by contradiction. Let P of omega equals to C, which is greater than 0 for all omega belongs to S, then clearly summation of P of omega will be infinity if I take the sum over S over omega belongs to S. Okay, and that is a contradiction which is not equals to 1, but I have to have this quantity. This summation has to be 1 because P of S has to be 1. So clearly for this case the equal probable or equally likely case will not going to happen. Let us talk about now the next point where S is uncountable. S is uncountable, that means that S is also infinite. And note that in this case the equally likely assignment is out of question, because for countable infinite it is out of question, because if I have infinite points the sum will be infinity if I give equally likely assignment. The same is true in this case also. So this particular case is out of question. Now in this, see that in the last two cases I can assign positive probability to each elementary event, but in case of uncountable sample space, even I cannot assign positive probability to each elementary event, without violating the axiom that P of S has to be 1. Why this is true? This is true because of the fact that, note that, so we are talking about S is uncountable and obviously F is power set of S in this case. So first point we are trying to prove is that I cannot assign positive probabilities to each elementary event. We will basically prove it by contradiction. So if possible, assume that P of omega strictly greater than 0 for all omega belongs to S. Okay, so if possible, we assume that. Now consider this set. Consider this event AN, which is collection of all elementary events in S, such that P of omega strictly greater than 1 by n for n equals to 1, 2, and so on and so forth. So that basically means that A1 is the collection of omega belongs to S such that P of omega is greater than 1. Strictly greater than 1, obviously this set is 5. Then A2, then A2 is the collection of all those omegas such that P of omega is greater than half. A3, collection of all those omegas such that P of omega is greater than 1 by 3, and so on and so forth. Now my first claim is that AN is finite. Why this claim is true? And this is true for all n. For n equals to 1, obviously this is 5 because probability cannot be greater than 1. So obviously for n equals to 1, this is finite. I have to think about the other values of n. So this claim we are going to prove again by contradiction. So if possible, let A be infinite. So when A is infinite, I have two possibilities. So case 1, AN is countable infinite. So if AN is countable infinite, then you see that I can write AN equals to union omega belongs to AN of omega, and note that as AN is countable, the union is countable union. The union is a countable union, right? So in this case, again, because elementary events are disjoint, I can write P of omega, P of AN, which is basically summation P of omega in omega belongs to AN, which is strictly greater than summation omega belongs to AN 1 by n, because by construction of AN, P of omega is strictly greater than 1 by n when omega belongs to AN. Okay, and we know that the series A 1 by n does not converge, so this quantity also does not converge, and this will be positive. Okay, and this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. Why this is a contradiction? Because this quantity should be less than 1, because this is a probability. This is the probability of A. So this quantity has to be strictly less than. Okay. Now case 2, that AN is uncountable. If AN is uncountable, the point is quite simple, that then there is a countable set. Countable means countable infinite set. Countable infinite, countable I call E, which is a subset of AN, and then I will have a problem with the P of E. Then using case 1, P of E will be infinity, and this is a contradiction. P of E equals to infinity, that basically means that P of AN, which is which is greater than P of E, which is also infinity. Okay, so that is the contradiction. This is the contradiction. Now you can ask me that why I have done it in this way, that way I have taken a countable subset of AN. The reason is very simple, that see that this one, that probability of union of En can be written as summation of the probability of En if I have union of countable union of countable sets. Okay, if I have countable union of sets, not countable sets, if I have countable union of sets, then only I can write that probability of En, the probability of union of En equals to summation of probability of En. And in this case, if I write An as the union of the elementary event, then that will not be a countable union, because An itself is an uncountable set, uncountable event. Okay, anyway, so we have proved the claim. So thus An is finite for all n equals to 1, 2, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now we have seen that An is finite. So now notice the S can be written as union of An, n equals to 1 to n. Why this is true? This is true because I can check very easily, see that if omega belongs to S, then P of omega is strictly greater than 0. So if P of omega is strictly greater than 0, that means there exists An such that P of omega is strictly greater than 1 by n. So for there exists An such that omega belongs to An. Right? So why this is true? Let me write. Let omega belongs to S, then P of omega is strictly greater than 0, implies that there exists a n belongs to n such that P of omega is strictly greater than 1 by n, and which implies that omega belongs to An for some n. For some n, and implies that S is a subset of union of n equals to 1 to n. And by the construction, each An is a subset of, each An is a subset of S, implies that if I take the union of n equals to 1 to infinity, that turns out to be a S. So I have that S is a subset of S can be written as union of An. Note that again it is a countable union. So that basically means that I have Ans are finite. So it is a countable union of finite sets. So that means that S is a countable union of finite sets, and this implies that S is at most countable. And this is a contradiction again. This is a contradiction again. This is a contradiction again, as we have assumed that S is uncountable. As we have assumed that A is uncountable, and now I am getting that S is at most countable. So this is a contradiction. Therefore, our hypothesis is not correct, and therefore I cannot assign positive probability to each elementary event in S if S is uncountable. Hope that this proof is fine with all of you. Let us stop here with this lecture, and we'll proceed to the next lecture.